Today, we talk of how behavior differs in the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. Today, this day in early April 2021, is a wonderful day, for we are at last free. We are free of the deception perception. We Lightworkers, we starseeds, are moving into the love vibration. We are moving out of time as it exists on earth and into the now moment of eternity. And we loudly and proudly proclaim it to the universe. For we have been admired and enmeshed, imprisoned in the fear-filled third-dimensional planet Earth hologram schoolroom. And it is a considerable achievement to have moved out of that lowest of low frequencies up into the fourth and fifth dimensions. What are these dimensions we speak of? They are all about frequency and vibration. We human beings are a product of the frequency at which we reside. This planet Earth experience exists at the lowest frequency that it is possible for human bodies, with souls embedded in their physical being, to exist. We human beings, in this training simulator program that is the planet Earth experience, are only one version of humanity. There are many versions of humanity existing on many different dimensions, many different vibrations. For the human body is a very successful biological computer that is acceptable to different frequencies, that can exist in the third dimension at a lower level of physicality, or be in the fifth dimension in a more ethereal form. Humanity has, for centuries, for millennia, been living in the third dimension, and now it is time for him to move up and out of his fear-filled schoolroom reality. Dimensions can be thought of as perceptions in the human mind, as frequencies in which the mind dwells, as points of focus rather than places. Each dimension exists simultaneously on top of each other. The human being's frequency, the vibration in which we exist, is dependent on the level of consciousness, the dimension that that human is experiencing. Each and every human being is equal in the sight of God, in the sight of the divine of which we are an integral part. As we have often said, there are no accidents. Each person is on their divine journey through the planet Earth third dimensional experience. Strange as it seems, we have been on this earth to make mistakes. If you like, we have been on this earth to sin. For it is by experiencing the opposite of love that we learn greater love. So judgment of anyone, anytime, is inappropriate. Certainly discernment of the frequency of those around us is wise. For although everyone is exactly where they need to be, doing exactly what they need to do, it may not be pleasant or spiritually uplifting to be with those who are in the process of experiencing the deepest and darkest negativity. We have all been there. We humans have all experienced fear, for that is what we are here to do. But now, in this amazing Great Awakening time, we are moving up in frequency. Up in frequency and out of the third dimensional paradigm of reality, out of selfishness, out of the ego, returning to love, union, communion, and camaraderie with our brethren. This time and place herald the end of separation, the end of the duality experience. As the energies of light and love are poured onto the earth, as the planets align for the ascension event, there is a new opportunity for humanity to lift its vibration, to drop its suffering mentality, to drop the victim story, and live in the glory of the now moment as newly focused beings, beings focused on love, beings focused on joy and self-actualization. Each soul is variously and uniquely experiencing their ascension journey in God's perfect timing. Again, all souls are equal, No soul is any better than any other soul. They are each aspects of God. The key to ascension is a change in focus, a realization that humanity is not just a body, but a divine soul on a divine journey. And that soul is in third dimensional schoolroom planet Earth, in the appropriate class of fear, limitation, and emotion. Let us look at the qualities that are present in this third dimension of existence. The third dimension is exemplified by being rooted in the physical world. Each human sees himself as a separate entity and judges others for their skin color, age, gender, appearance, financial, and job status in life. Separation is the order of the day. They believe they are the thinker of their thoughts, and that their thoughts are their own, and a representation of who and what they are. Their thoughts are a representation of their personality. The third dimensional humans seek happiness outside of themselves. They search for material possessions and relationships. They look for validation from each other. They look to each other for the love they do not give themselves. They are reactive to the comments and prods and pokes and criticisms of their peers, and yet themselves are quick to criticize and prod and poke with words and deeds at their brethren. Their focus is on lack and competition. They must hold on tightly to all they have, for there is not enough abundance, not enough money to go around, and so they must fight for their share of material wealth. They are jealous of those who they perceive to be doing better than they themselves are doing. Life is characterized by polar opposites. There are good decisions and bad decisions, sinful people and good people, good thoughts and bad thoughts, good deeds and bad deeds. They believe themselves to be defined by who they are as a person. They claim themselves to be a parent, a father, a lawyer, a son, a nurse, a mother, and so on. This is how they identify themselves. Although they may pay verbal tribute to their divinity, there is no real understanding that there is anything more than a short human life. They whine and complain and grumble, for they have a victim mentality. They live in the past. They live in the consciousness that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. They unite in their dysfunction. They unite in groups that are against things, against war, against cancer, against prejudice, so focusing on and creating more of what they are against by their very focus. Fear rules their world. Fear of death is primary, for the body is the reality of the third dimensional world. For many, the end of the body means the end of existence. For others, heaven and hell are real, and since they see themselves as sinful, they fear that hell is where they will go. They will go to eternal damnation when they die. Arriving at the fourth dimension, there is an inkling of a new perception. The focus changes. As the light of consciousness begins to awaken, the beliefs of old third dimensional reality seem ridiculous. Anger arises with the realization that parents and society have instilled false belief systems and arbitrary rules and regulations which must be followed. There is a desire for revenge against the powers that be. There is a righteous indignation against all the tortures and cruelties that mankind has endured. The wish to proselytize, to preach to one's brethren about the lies we have been told, becomes stronger and stronger. The fourth dimensional human feels that they must warn their brethren about the Illuminati, the powers that be, the corruption of the financial, medical, political, and religious structures. Many in this frequency feel a revulsion against those who are still admired in the third dimensional world. They feel anger against those who watch the news, those who eat meat, those who wear masks, those who police their brethren to behave as they do. In the fourth dimension, newly awakened mankind thirsts for knowledge. He thirsts for a new understanding of his world from a spiritual viewpoint. The ego is his enemy. Rather than accept his humanity, he wishes to sublimate all human desires to become what he would call spiritually enlightened. And then we variously reach the outer boundaries of the fifth dimension. We say variously, for each of us is individual and unique in our ascension process, and each of us exemplify different qualities of the newly found fifth dimension. At this stage of our awakening, we all still exist on all three dimensions simultaneously. Dropping back and forth in frequency, we can still fall back into fear or into fourth dimensional feelings of spiritual superiority over our brethren. In the fifth dimension, we move into the love vibration. The ego fades. It is no longer the leader of our life. It still serves us, but it is now the servant of the soul in its intellectual capacity, rather than the servant to monetary love, corruption, and animal instincts. In the fifth dimension, we no longer try to change the world, for we realize there are no accidents, and all that happens is meant to happen, for planet Earth is a schoolroom for divine souls. Each individual is on their own unique divine journey. The darkness in the world is a reflection of the human, low-dimensional thought process. We no longer try to heal the world, for all is happening for a reason. Instead, we go within to change our focus, to heal ourselves. We are no longer a small and unconscious human. We are no longer a label. Rather, we are an ever-changing, ever-growing field of consciousness, field of focus. We know now we are what we think. We know now we manifest that which we intend and exemplify by our thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality, and we watch every thought we think and every word that we speak. We treat our fellows with love and respect. We may not resonate with their consciousness, with their low-level understanding, but we know that this earth is a tapestry of uniquely different humans with unique understandings, and all are worthy. Each man and woman is living the divine hero's journey from unawareness and compliance to an understanding of our divinity and the construction of an individual thought-through morality. All is forgiven in the fifth dimension, for nothing wrong ever happened. Everything is exactly as it is meant to be. We agreed to this human schoolroom existence, and we are grateful for all we learned. We are grateful for the not preferred experiences that created the limitation and emotion, for the completion of our lessons and the understanding of our own true nature. Difficult as life as a third-dimensional human was, it has moved us to a greater love, a greater compassion, and greater joy. There is freedom in the knowing that all is well. There is freedom in the new perception of reality, that nothing is inherently good or bad. Nothing has power over us unless we agree to it. Judgment turns to discernment. We no longer see behavior as good or bad, as black or white, but as preferred or not preferred. We discern not preferred behavior and stay away from it. Yet we know that the person exemplifying the not preferred behavior is perfectly perfect where they are, going through the lessons they need to learn. We may not wish to spend time with them, but we respect all and everyone, regardless of where they are vibrationally. Vibration and frequency are realized as the infrastructure in which mankind lives. Reaching a higher frequency means a shift in focus, a shift in perception to a place where love reigns supreme. As the master within awakens, the power of love is realized. Fear drops away and one can no longer be manipulated and maneuvered. Moral judgment drops away. Yes, life is good as we raise up into the fifth dimension and feel divine love coursing through our veins. Life is good and getting better. And, dear brethren, the best is yet to come. Yes, life is becoming delicious, for we are in control now. And the wonder of it is, indeed, that good times are ahead, times that we cannot envisage for the power and the glory and the joy they hold, times that are a happy dream. Yes, the best is yet to come. That was Aita, channeling her higher self. We are blessed beings, indeed.